So you're suffering. Aren't we all? It's the first noble truth of what the Buddha told us. Life is suffering. But what if the antidote to your suffering is taking on responsibility? Now, I'm not telling you this is going to make your life easier. Not at all. But I do think it will make your life better. When life becomes difficult, we tend to pull back. That's the natural instinct, right? To avoid, try to remove this extra weight on us. That's a natural instinct. And to be honest with you, that's pretty human. But it could be completely different. You could change your relationship with said suffering. What if suffering shaped your experience? What if taking responsibility for your suffering shaped your experience? Now, all this stuff is easy when things are going well for you. Right? It's easy to talk about responsibility. What happens when your back gets put up against the wall? When something unexpected happens? Something completely out of the unknown, which we discussed in the Chaos Note video. You can check that out too. What happens? There's like this internal split that happens, for me at least, and I think it probably happens for you. It's there's two ways to go about this. And it's the paradox of these different thoughts, things I'm still trying to work through. But there's one part of yourself that says, why is this happening to me? Right? You become like you're watching this experience happen to you. More of a victim. Then there's another way that I go through thinking about this. And it's, okay, what is this doing for me? You know, really not taking control of it, just trying to understand that you're not just watching this happen to you. You are part of this experience, and you could shape how you go about this. It's a choice. So what choice are you going to make? Are you going to take this passive relationship to the suffering and responsibility of your life? Or the other option, to bear it? And now listen, I think, stop this video, think about this. Even if you're still in that passive mode, life is going to punch you. All right, the storm is going to come, and you'll hit a point where you're going to have to accept it. And that's that crucial moment, right? So let's just say you get there, right? You finally accept that life is suffering. You have to accept that first. You take on as much responsibility as you could, within reason. There's a line. I think there's a fine line that you can play around with to see what makes you feel better. And you try to do the best you could with what you got. You conceptualize what good means to you. We're not going to get through a Nietzsche discussion about good and evil. You know what's good and wrong, or good and bad. Deep down, if you listen to these other videos we're doing, get some awareness, understand what is the best good. What's the best version of myself? Not to become successful, not to make the most money. How could I be the best boyfriend, the husband, the son, the employee, the best friend? Conceptualize those things and go after it. You just look what's in front of you and you say, what can I do? What could I say? What could I think? What could I not think? What is this tiniest little thing I can do? What good can I do? This first choice, it's the act of faith of just accepting, taking this route is the best route. Because in reality, like, what other choice is there? You're trying to keep being miserable? A, you can keep doing that. B, you could become a nihilist, which we see how that goes for some people. I hope you see that. This act of being is the path and truth to enlighten. You have to accept the faith in that. It's not always going to feel that way. I spent the last year trying to do that, and for the most part, it has worked out pretty well. But sometimes it doesn't, especially with a work situation or a money situation. The people with the power, a little more corruption, they're not going to look at it that way. But I think in the long run, doing the best you could do, doing real good. And there's all different ways to look at how you could, different lenses to take with this responsibility and suffering. From a psychological perspective, if you found this video, I'm sure you found Jordan Peterson, one of my major influences. From a psychological lens, suffering will provide meaning to your life. So that alone should convince you. If not, we can look at it from a scientific perspective, right? Your reticular activating system is, what will organize your life. So even from just a simple scientific perspective, it's something you should try to do. The reticular activating system, when you have an aim, you have your goal, It will organize your life for that way. So if you're feeling chaotic, and you can pick something to aim at that's relatively good, yeah. If you gamble on the weekends, that's okay, man. From a religious perspective, what did a lot of figures, and even, the mythical side, we could talk about that. Just what does the hero, or what Jesus, what is he doing? He's bearing the burden. He's bearing the cross after his best friend ratted on him as he walks past his mother to his death. If that's not bearing suffering, I don't know what is. So I think in all these stories, that's why it's one of the most popular, stories, history, whatever you want to call it. It's a drama that really captivates the mind, regardless. So looking at those things from those three sides, if you have a psychological confirmation of this, you have the scientific confirmation of this, and a religious, mythical, spiritual confirmation, this is the way, my friends. So I think that should prove it to you. Your experience of suffering begins to change when you stop relating to it as something that is only happening to you and start relating to it as something you are participating in. Not controlling, not passively watching, but participating. Now, you don't get to choose everything that happens in your life. That part is real, but it's just not the whole picture. Even in the middle of something difficult, there's still a point where you decide how you're going to respond. And that decision, whether it's conscious or not, will shape what happens next. Not in a way that removes the difficulty, in a way that becomes undeniable for you to have more presence and peace. Responsibility doesn't eliminate suffering, but it places you back in relationship with your life. And I think that's the difference between being overwhelmed by it and being able to move through it. How to overcome this is to become a better person. And the proof will be derived in the attitude you take in life. It's time to become mature, independent, and bearing your suffering. This is PurplePill-Philosophy.